Working with great chefs is essential to become a great chef, and I did just that. The moment you begin making concessions in order to stroke someone's ego, the game is done. I took refuge in food. Being a chef means you have to graze. You never get the opportunity to dine in peace. They never really do sit down to eat before you start cooking. I'll thus go for a run as soon as I get off work, particularly if I'm in New York, and I'll put in 10 or 15 kilometers on my own. I run to get hungry. I follow my intuition and behave impulsively. Industry lingo includes profanity. It will remain the same as long as we live. To see results, you must be gregarious. For crying out loud, folks are aware of my volatility. Families are odd, you know. I believe there is a camaraderie among the culinary crew. In the kitchen, you spend more time with your chef than with your own family. More than ever, young chefs are under pressure to excel in all areas: social skills, marketing, cooking, personality, and most crucially, food preparation. Thus, you must have strength, physically well off. Thus, each time one of my cooks enters the kitchen, they are weighed. I believe that every chef, not only in America but all around the globe, carries two jackets. One is driven, a self-described thoroughbred who hates ineptitude, and the other is removable and geared toward becoming a family guy. My spouse is a very rigorous instructor. If you believe I'm harsh, then trust me and watch to see when the kids get into trouble. It's quite funny. We then made the decision that I would work really hard and provide the family outstanding support. I don't own out-of-control eateries. We want to use skill to get incredible footholds. I have a fantastic kick and swim like a fish. I commit graft. I am Britain's most selfless chef right now. When you work in a restaurant and dine out every day, it might be difficult to transition to a different restaurant when you lack the energy you had 10 years ago. When you come across a strong, authoritative man, you fall in love with him right away. I detest taking back looks. I'm continually anticipating the future. I'm not the kind to weep over a drop of milk. I'm too preoccupied with finding the next cow. I've experienced both success and failure, and I've learned from both. Kitchens are challenging places where people develop very strong personalities. Our goal is to develop a fresh generation of artists. These days, our kitchens are like Manchester United. Am I experimenting in the kitchen all the time? As a player coach, I am. Nonetheless, I still like football, and I compare cooking to football. It's a passion, not a job. When you become excellent at it, it's a dream career where you never have to worry about money at all. I don't care what anybody thinks. Cooking is a young man's game these days. My dad taught swimming lessons. We used to go swimming both before and after school. Cats are said to have 9 lives. I don't know how many more I'll have. I've already had 12. You are aware of the unusual haughtiness of the French. Even while I'm not impervious to criticism, I now take criticism less personally. I desired an FA Cup winner's medal when I played soccer. You want an Oscar as an actor. There is nothing better than 3 Michelin stars for a chef. Thus, going above and above puts a great deal of strain and excitement on you. But more significantly, it appears on the plate. Yanks are an issue because they are wimps. If I could have been a professional football player, would I trade my accomplishments as a chef for anything? Without a doubt. I'm not a really hands-on father. You can't manage a restaurant, go home for tea at 4:30, take a bath, and change nappies. I'm not afraid to say that. I grew raised in an odd manner. Coming from where I work, discussing money is considered impolite. I have nothing to conceal. Life has a certain amount of elitism and fickleness. I would most likely die if I relaxed and let up on the gas. Nobody anticipated the recession. I like to believe I'm a really good instructor. Originally, running was a kind of relaxation. I have all of that time to myself. No faxes, emails, or phones. Since cooking is all about passion, it may seem too forceful or volatile to the untrained eye. I am who I am, an adversary. Cooking under duress requires sacrificing perfection. I cook and create, and even though I'm very passionate about what I do, I still have a lot to do. Cooks are crazy people. They're all complete psychopaths and self-obsessed, fragile, sensitive, insecure little beings. Each and every one of them. I aim from the hip. It's not a good advertisement, in my opinion, for any restaurant, a fat chef, or anybody in general who wants to eat dessert when the chef is a big pig. Being a chef is not a means to an end. If I could offer you one very important piece of advice, it would be to never ever accept or take the honeymoon room upgrade when you go away for that special weekend. I refuse to allow anybody to write anything negative about me. I never got depressed, and I never feel depressed now. Your success is, I assume, your security, and your good palate is your ticket to success. All I am is a chef who just so happens to be on television. I'm not attempting to conquer New York. I simply want to cook, shut down the hatches, sneak in, and keep my head down. Look for what's just released, what's popular, and finally the worst review of the week. It is really instructive to see a restaurant get negative reviews and witnessing a negative dining experience. Take a look at it for yourself. I teach my cooks in a very different way than other people. The first thing my young lads and ladies receive when they enter the kitchen is a blindfold. They take a seat at the chef's table after being blindfolded. They don't get to cook it until they can identify what they're tasting. For heaven's sake, I want my children to view me as their father, not as a celebrity on TV. I was a ruthless tackler and an inherently combative left back. I'm a rather chauvinistic individual. I grew raised in a challenging environment.